Hey guys, today was an awesome day. Everything was green except for Aurora, which is kind of sad, but hopefully this video makes you feel a little better. Um, I the news that came out today really got me thinking, and I will share my thoughts about it in this video. So let's begin. So I'm gonna start off AMD. I think AMD could go to $50 in the span of, let's say, less than a year. So from this time next year, I say the stock could be $50 or even higher than $50. $50 is like probably like the minimum. I would say. I say it could go even higher than $50. But I say this time next year we could see a $50 price tag on this. If you guys wanted me to make a dedicated video, you guys really want to hear my thoughts on why I think AMD can go to $100. Oh, sorry, not $100. $50. At least $50 in the next 12 months, I would say. Please give me a like on this video. If I get 100 likes, I will make a dedicated video on AMD because it shows you guys are interested and you guys want to know why I believe AMD can go to $50. I made a video in the past saying that this stock will go to $30 by the end of 2019. Well, it's gonna hit $30 very soon here. I say before even the next quarter report. If the next quarter report is good, it'll go even higher than $30 because this stock evaluation is only $27.35 billion. But that's all I'm gonna get into. If you guys want to hear more about my thoughts on AMD, please give me a thumbs up. If I get 100 thumbs up, then I will make a dedicated video on just AMD. So Coke is no longer buying cannabis companies. At least this is just my opinion. I mean, they could still come out and shock the world, and right after they buy a coffee and say, "Hey, we buy into Canadian cannabis company too, because we're made of money and we can just spend whatever we want." But it's possible, but I don't think it's gonna happen. I think because Coke spent a lot of money already on an acquisition, I think they're gonna stay away from buying another big item for a while. At least that's just my opinion. But I came to the conclusion today that Aurora might get basically a deal similar to Constellation Brand. Will get their own $5 billion deal. I believe so. But we'll talk about it in this video. Okay, so I guess. Oh, okay, I already have it loaded up. Oops. Anyways, so this debt deal that came out today, it was interesting because there's a clause in this debt deal. The clause is pursuant to agreeing upon conditions of the loan, Aurora may, at its discretion, repay the balance of the loan without penalty at any time. The pricing of the loan is a set margin over the BMO CAD prime rate or banker's acceptance of approval terms. Based on the current BMO CAD prime rate, the interest payable is expected to be mid to high 4% per annum range over the term of the loan. You know what? I'm an idiot. I realized that I didn't have to read all that. All I had to read was they could pay this back. Aurora may pay this back anytime. So I'm thinking that Aurora is talking to someone right now, and they're borrowing money from the bank because then they can use that money right away. They don't have to wait until the money from the investor guy, the person investing into them, will give them for the company. So they're using the bank's money now so they can be aggressive, and then when they get the money from the investor, like a similar deal like Constellation Brand, once they get that $5 billion plus, I don't know, maybe $3 or $4 billion deal for, I don't know, 25% of the company with an option of another 25% for another, $5 billion. Who knows? But I think Aurora is using, basically, they put this clause in because they know that they're getting money from an investor, so they can just pay back the debt right away and then use that money to keep growing and establishing themselves and trying to catch up to Canopy and beat Canopy. If Coke invested into Aurora, just because Coke is such a consumer product brand, Aurora would be considered first place. Because Coke's also a bigger company than Constellation Brands, so that would bring Aurora to first place. But sadly, Coke is not going to be investing into Aurora, so that's sad, but whatever. So that's just one theory. The second theory is T-God. So I was thinking that Aurora probably didn't want to pay for T-God, but since they're talking to someone right now, right? They'll probably realize, hey, we're going to be getting a ton of money coming into us. And the people that they're talking to probably also want a T-God. They want to use Aurora's warrants, which is beneficial to get T-God, to establish T-God as part of the Aurora company, because they're acquiring the Aurora company. So they're also acquiring T-God at the same time. So my assumption is they want T-God to be a part of the company. Too. Yeah, so that's the reason why I think T-God and Aurora are talking to extend that time. But then again, this is all speculation. So, I mean, I think Aurora is in the works, though, of talking to someone to establish themselves as an investor, because they realize that, they want to be a global player. They want to be a big player, and they want to go aggressively because they're at the flexion point where they really need to go fast, or else they could be overtaken by a United States company. Because there's a lot of US companies that are starting to start up, and Aurora realized that they need to be super aggressive in order to establish Aurora as the number one company. So they need an investor, and since Canopy already got their Constellation brand deal, Aurora needs to go out and look for their own partner. And I'm assuming a lot of alcohol companies and a lot of businesses are talking to Aurora right now, so they can have a business like a cannabis business, which is going to be big in the future. This is my opinion, though. We will see what will happen, and I'm probably going to re-listen to this, and if it's okay, because I kind of rambled on a lot, so it might be misleading. Aurora stock today didn't really climb a lot. It kind of just went down. Sorry. It just kind of just stabilized at like $8-9, went up 1%. Between $8.50 to $9. It's depressing because the entire market was like 10%, 15%, 20%, and Aurora is like 1%, and people are just scratching their head. Like, the stock should be at least $10, but I have a theory why the stock is the stock is not really taking off. I think it's getting suppressed. I could be wrong, though, because I was looking at the short position, and Aurora is on this list of short position where no other big weed companies. This is on the Toronto Stock Exchange anyways. This is not the venture. But Aurora Cannabis is one of the top companies that's getting shorted. 23 million shares shorted. So that's a lot of shares, but I mean, Aurora has a lot of shares. Aurora has like almost 1 billion shares, right? What is it? This one is a little bit more like earlier. This date was for August 15th, and I think this one is more recent. I'm not sure what the date here. It says September 4th, 2018. uh 45 million shares got shorted. It got increased by 27%. So the shorts are back. The shorts are really, I think they like, I mean, if I was a shorter right now, I'd be scared. I'd be really scared because like the entire market's taking off, and Aurora is just bound to follow because they are a leader right now. Like right now, Tilray is worth more than Aurora. Tilray is worth $1.17 billion when Aurora should be that in that place, not Tilray. So I think shorts. I mean, if I was a short, I'd be extremely scared, just because the market is so bullish right now, and Aurora is just will tend to follow. So we'll see what happens though. Because of the news about Aurora extending the time to buy more shares of T-Guard, boosted the stock because it shows that Aurora is actually interested. Because my assumption was Aurora wasn't interested before, but after the whole Constellation brand deal, they probably went fast and started talking to big businesses like alcohol companies and be like, hey, we have a business, we can compete with Canopy, invest in with us, and we'll be the #1 company, right? Like the whole point of being a public company is to sell yourself for money so you can grow and establish yourself as a big player. Because Aurora is not really owned by somebody, it's owned by shareholders. Shareholders own Aurora Cannabis. So whoever's the major shareholder of Aurora basically owns it. So if you own 51% of the company, you basically run the company. You could convert it and merge it with your own company, or you can keep it a separate entity and still control the company. But if you're a shareholder, if you're 51% of the shareholder, you basically run the company. Yeah, that's, I guess I kind of rambled on a little bit there. Namaste. I think Namaste, honestly, I believe that Namaste kind of got a boost from really rich people. I think really rich people are pumping the stock up. It's kind of repeating what it did back in like last year, December 2017, where it kind of like rose. Like you look, this curve right here is similar to this curve right here. So this stock's gonna keep climbing. It's gonna keep climbing, and then it's gonna eventually and then it's probably gonna get listed on the Nasdaq, like here, and then it's probably gonna decline back to maybe like $2-3, and then kind of hover around there for a while, just like that, like what happened last year. I think it's gonna have a rise again. I think rich people are pumping the stock. I mean, okay, they came out with news today saying like they're working with someone. Okay, but you know, when you work with someone, you don't get 100% of the revenue. So, yeah, it's good, but I don't know. It's not 20% good. It's not 25% good. Like, seriously, like right now, the whole cannabis market is so bullish that's pushing every stock up, and I think there's some really rich people backing Namaste stock, pushing it to that $4 limit, so then they can get listed on the Nasdaq, and then they can establish themselves. Because having yourself listed on the Nasdaq will really help your branding. And if Namaste gets listed on the Nasdaq, their YouTube channel is gonna explode. At least this is my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but getting listed on the Nasdaq is important, and they are doing it without doing a reverse split, and I think rich people are backing this company. At least this is just my opinion. You guys can say whatever you want, but I've been in the stock market for a long time, and for a company to go from 23 cents all the way to $4, obviously someone is pushing this stock up really high, and I believe it's rich people. It's people who have like hundreds of millions of dollars of even billions of dollars. So like, think about it. There's like some of the directors are like Google and SpaceX. Those guys probably know like millionaires and billionaires, and if they manage to get one of their rich friends to, you know, help out Namaste stock so they can establish themselves as a company, and on top of that, they're probably going to make money, because right now there's so much greed in the market that when you see something rise, you start buying, and that causes the stock to rise even further. So I think it's gonna hit $4. I think they're gonna get listed on the Nasdaq. I think there's some really rich people pushing the stock up higher, and then once they get that sales license, that's gonna top them up to that point where they need to be to get the Nasdaq listing, and then after that, probably decline back to $3 to $2. But this is just my opinion. We'll see what happens. But like, if the stock goes like up like this, eventually it's gonna crash. All these stocks eventually gonna crash. I think Canopy is gonna hit $100, and then it's gonna probably crash down to $70 or even $60, and then it's gonna probably hover between $60 to $70 for like a whole year, until next year when it has another big rise. I mean, history usually repeats itself. Not always, but for the past 2 years it has. So will there be a third year where it repeats itself? Maybe. But I got greedy. I'm gonna show you guys. So, oh yeah, I totally forgot. Today I wanted to buy AMD, but I ended up buying Tesla because Tesla was on a decline. So I put a price tag of $290, and I guess it declined below $290, and I bought it. I only bought like put $10,000 into it. Canopy, if you notice, right, this is my Namaste stock, and this is my Canopy stock. If I held on to my Namaste and not convert my Namaste shares to Canopy shares, I'd probably make more money, but that was a risk. That was a risky move, right? I didn't know that Namaste was gonna get the big benefit of the whole cannabis boom. Because they don't really grow cannabis, so that's what I thought. But I held on because I, you know, somewhat believe in the company. So yeah, but I'm benefiting. So, but I could have made a lot more money if I just like hold on to my Namaste and not convert it into weed stocks. Oh well, that's life. Right now I'm a Canopy shareholder. And I'm happy to be a Canopy shareholder because Canopy is the safest stock on the market. They got $5 billion deal. Until Aurora gets that, Canopy is my number one. But I'm hoping that Aurora gets it. I'm assuming they should, because they're such a big company, and nobody really wants to give Constellation Brand the first place. So, because the competitors. Anyways, I guess thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you dislike this video, please give me a thumbs down. Subscribe for future updates, and have a great day. Bye.